Have you ever watched a show and went, "Aw, man, I want to play a D&D character with those powers," and then you looked at the rulebook and went into a spiraling depression because the rules have such specific power sets that you couldn't? So then you took a gander at Tulok the Barbarian's channel and you realize if you want to play a JoJo, you gotta be like level 20 before you can do all the cool things you want, and even then you kinda gotta squint at it and slip your DM a 20 under the table before it even starts to resemble an anime character? Well, no worries, because Wizards of the Coast just released a playtest kit letting you live out your dream of being haunted by a weird-ass ghost who can punch people. Howdy, friendos, my name is Stuart, and let's take a look at this new packet for monks called Way of the Astral Self that's pretty much just a JoJo character in disguise. And if you think I'm joking or exaggerating, it's pretty much spelled out for you by the second paragraph. Now, what's great about this build is even though you're playing something fairly niche and specific, you don't really need to specialize or do any crazy leveling shenanigans to play it. I called out Tulok earlier, and while his build is brilliant, it's not exactly beginner friendly to those dice goblins that just want to hear the clackety clacks of math rocks and kill some fools. You know who you are.
I don't like them, hate goblins, hate them!
So first off, you're building a straight up monk, which isn't a big surprise considering that even in classic JoJo, a lot of the conflicts came down to a fist fight between two men who were shredded enough to grind turnips into a powder so fine that your wizard could substitute it for magic components. Next, you're going to get to level 3, where you can start to take the monastic tradition features, and this is where you're going to have some fun. Instead of taking any of the boring normal traditions, you're going to go to the Wizards of the Coast website, grab their playtest packet from the Unearthed Arcadia, and you're going to take the tradition called the Way of the Astral Self. And if those big words confuse or scare you, don't worry, it's just nerd speak for f***ing gauche. When you grab this tradition, it unlocks the feature that lets you unleash your stand, but only a little bit. See, your stand, or your astral self, is shyer than your average nerd on prom night, and only comes out a little bit of a time on each of your level increments. Also, if you have any doubts that you're playing a JoJo character, just look at the description in the flavor text. I quote, "Forms of your astral self. The astral self is a translucent embodiment of the monk's psyche and soul. As a result, the form of the astral self reflects the mind of the monk who manifests it. Your astral self could be a humanoid knight with a helmeted face and large muscular arms, or it could be a golden metallic form with thin arms like a Modron." Okay, so basically you're going to take your drawing of your OC Do Not Steal that you made in 3rd grade, slap it next to your own character, and name it after your favorite Backstreet Boy, gangster rapper, or whatever heartthrob you had hanging horizontally over your bed in your teenage years that your parents blissfully ignored, and call it a day. With this power at level 3, you unlock the Arms of the Astral Self, which you can activate as monk weapons with a 10-foot reach that costs 2 key points. These last for 10 minutes, which is fair considering that most prom night boyfriends only last for about a 10th of that time. With these arms, you can punch with all the wisdom that you can muster, and you can use your big brain for your strength saving throws instead of your wimpy noodle arms. Also, it lets you ora ora as a bonus action. You can ora hara, you can ora hara. You can ora harder. God, I can't read this. You can ora harder as you level up, unlike your prom night boyfriend. At 6th level, you unlock the Vestige of the Astral Self, where you can finally see the ugliness that is your subconscious that covers your character's head. With this, you gain advantage on insight and intimidate checks. Okay, while also gaining dark vision for 120 feet, an ability that's so goddamn underwhelming it may as well not fucking exist. At level 11, we finally get back to the shonen action time as we awaken the Astral Self, where you can channel your inner Goku and deflect energy harder than that super like on Tinder sent to you by that couple that wants to spice up their marriage. You also beef up your arm damage once per turn equal to your martial art die, and you gain Word of Spirit, which, when you speak through your visage, you can direct your words to a creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you, making it so that only that creature can hear you. Alternatively, you can amplify your voice so that all creatures within 600 feet can hear you. Now, when I first wrote this, I actually thought that this was just a ridiculous power that they made up, but no, it was actually in part 3. It was in Stardust Crusaders. This was in the episode where JoJo fought the underwater, stand monster. I totally forgot about this, but good job, Wizards of the Coast. I wrote this joke and everything, but it's totally useless because you guys did your homework better than I did. Well done. Well done. This next part is going to require some audience participation. If you would please, when the words pop up on the screen, please go ahead and read them as such. Ha! Next you're going to say, I should like, subscribe, and share this video. NANI?! Alright, whatever. Let's get back to the real shit. At level 17, your stand fully manifests itself when you unlock the complete Astral Self, which lets you Zarodo, giving you a +2 AC bonus. It regains your ki like an energy vampire. And finally, you can Muda Muda with the same extreme prejudice Araki seems to have for all dogs. That's currently all the features that's released for this, and I'll be honest, it's pretty gosh darn cool, but it's still pretty limited. JoJo is a show that gets away with wacky and creative ideas, and no two stands are exactly the same. This class does a great job at letting you play Jotaro, but not a great job at letting you make your own 80s action hero wish fulfillment. Plus, there's nothing here about Hamon or any of the other crazy wacky JoJo things that you can get away with. But it was still pretty good, and I commend Wizard of the Coast for coming up with such a creative solution to an anime problem that we didn't even know we had. And while you can get your magic items that let you teleport, you can get artifacts that let you stop time. Nothing, and I mean nothing in this game will give you the greatest JoJo power of all. You need to unlock that through your sheer RP might!